Ladies and gentlemen, please put those hands together as we welcome Professor Elechi-Ogba. Please a round of applause for our professor.
How many years running? Well, 2 for you, 4 or 5 for me. Yes. So I'm happy to see you and I'm happy to be here again. We're going to do the usual. I think I've listened and I've been here since morning. And there's something that every speaker touches on: a yearn for change. Deep yearn for change. It means we're not getting things right. But the problem is, like I said last year, we're very good in big grammars, but we're not good in solutions. If an average Nigeria will be good in application, our country will change. Forget about politicians. Politicians are like refined, ordained devils, so they're never going to change. And I'm being serious. And somehow, some of us, all of us are all politicians, but it depends on the category of politics. In your home, you're a politician, a woman that cooks well and keep the house in order. If you're a home manager, waiting for your husband to come, what are you doing? You're politicking. A child that tries to behave well when the parents are there, what are they doing? They are politicking. So we're all politicians, but you know the type of politicians I'm talking about. So we yearn for change. We yearn for reality. We yearn to see things happen. But the problem is we don't want to take the right step to do the right thing. So what I'm going to do now is, as usual, we're going to sit in groups briefly, and I'll ask you to do something. When you finish doing that thing very briefly, then we'll do something practical, and then we are gone. Ready? So have you got your pen and paper? Please don't sit alone. Even Edves group, you need to join. Because when you get back to your workplace, you're going to apply all these things. These are things you're going to take back to your society, take back to your classroom. Everyone has to be involved, because education is a sector, and you take what happens in education to other places. How you know a strong economy is an economy that their education system is very solid. If you have a weak education system, your national system will be bad. If your school system is bad, your entire system will be bad. Check every country that is doing well. One aspect of their goodness is the educational sector. Now, what I want you to do in your group, can you get your smartphone? Just definition of education. Another group, once you're done with that, type in the meaning or definition of learning. To learn. Not learning, learn. And then once you've done that, check the definition of knowledge. Education, learn, and then knowledge. If you're done, I want one person to stand up and give us the definition of education, another person learn, another person knowledge. Learn, not learning. Yeah? Yes, please. You see why I like myself, a teacher, a professor. I'll order you to stand, you go stand. If you don't stand, I go vex. And you tell me sorry. You're a teacher where you are. Is the audio now? Can the audio go? Okay, please, I want you to listen to, read the content and watch what happens. So do you want to start from the beginning so they can pay attention to the words?
The kids don't learn like that. They need to learn face to face. You just get mad because I'm pointing out the obvious. Don't waste your time. I'm telling you what you need to do. Yeah. You want kids to come into your class, you want them to get excited for this, you gotta come in here, you gotta make them excited. You want a kid to change and start doing better, you gotta touch his freaking heart. You can't expect a kid to change if all you do is just tell him. You gotta take this job serious. This is the future of this nation. And when you come in here, like you did last time, and make a statement about, oh, this is my paycheck, indeed it is. But this is my country's future and my education. Can you go outside, please? But there's a limit. When I'm not bitching, it's simply making an observation. Okay. And now I will leave.
Okay, do you understand what has happened? This young guy, a teenager, in a classroom, and he had it. That's enough. That's just enough. He stood up and said, look, I'm out of here. You don't know what you're doing. You're a teacher. I can't continue like this. You are not serious with what you're doing. I can't come here every day, sit down, and you simply regurgitate what is in a bloody textbook, and you're simply rotating life as if nothing changes. I've had enough of it. You're not taking my education seriously. You don't care about whether I'm learning. And he said, this is my country. This is my education. And what was the lady doing? Sitting like Lady of the Flies, not Lord of the Flies. And all she's saying is, get out of my class. And the young man poured out his heart and walked away. That guy will never, ever in his life experience education. As far as it's concerned, education is over. And that happens to almost every school. That's because we are following the ways of Oyiboman. We're following a simple box method that they introduced to us, and they want us to bear the title educated. BSc, MSc, LLM, PhD, DGD, HIV, IOR, PPP, OBC, SSSS, CCC, all manner of useless, non-functional titles. And you crown it with, you know who I be? You know who I be? We can never ever move our country forward until we reassess our brain, because for over 100 years we've been brainwashed and reprogrammed. The same technology that you think is new, technology isn't new. Check all your religious books, check all your historical books. Technology has been there from day one. It's simply been, they just reinvent it and give it new names. But what has they've succeeded in doing, systems have succeeded in doing over the years, is to make you believe that the only way for a child to learn or to acquire knowledge is by simply going to a box called school and follow a system, rigid system. What are we then? I'm not. We're simply mental slaves, zombies. They'll tell you move like this. You keep moving. Stop. You write your GCSE. Is it GCSE? Junior YF. After writing, they'll tell you move. You move on. GCSE. You write it. Then, like my sister was saying, some parents will even buy the result. When you come out, A, all through. I recall then as dean of PG school and direct academic planning, we sent students, first class students, out of this country to England. They couldn't pass basic tests. And you and I know the truth. I've been to over 101 universities in Nigeria from 2012 to date, and I see horror every day. Because I'm involved with National University Commission's accreditation panel. You see horror. You see education, but there's no learning and there's no knowledge acquisition at all. And I'm prompting this, then before we start rounding up, we have another practice we'll do. I want to ask you, show me anybody that went through conventional primary school, secondary school, university, came out with flying colors, and they became something meaningful by practicing what they learned at university. Raise your hand. That's right. Because she simply went in to be educated, but not to learn, not acquire knowledge. When you're out of that box called university or secondary school. That's when these children or these supposedly children that are adults will go out there and acquire knowledge through learning and then implement them in their lives. How long are we going to continue this? The challenge is on you and I to take technology that has been existing and begin to do things. First, as a teacher or as a school head, the first thing we need to learn is that all fingers are not equal. What does that mean? Every child doesn't learn the same way. My daughter started writing at 8 years. She wrote articles for BBC. She published a book at 8 years. My other son, somebody wants to give a doubt about opening a book. But when he hears sound, just sound, even if he's in a deep sleep, he wake up. Sound is what drives him. And what he wanted was to learn sound and have a knowledge of sound. Now, he's acquiring knowledge of sound, so now he will become a sound engineer or a sound expert. Must he go to 4 walls to do that? Must he go to 4 walls? We're going to tie everything now up together. So you see that we need technology, we need schools, but schools need to wake up and stop seeing themselves as educational centers. Now there are two things, because students or pupils have different brains, like our friend said here, and different approaches to things. I try to break it down. Can you give that the other handwritten sketch diagram? I try to break it down into 2 categories, 2 areas of human learning and acquisition of knowledge. And almost everybody falls within that category. And when we explore it further, we'll do a little practice so you understand what we're saying. And then you can take that back to yourself, to your home, to your workplace, and see how you can apply. And you see how that ties on to what I said before. There's nothing new. The technologies we have today can do virtually anything for you. It's just about it's just about you, before you remove this, just about you changing your mindset. Some of you, as a child, if you remember, sometimes you'll be walking on the street, or even at home, where you're playing, you'll be writing things on the air, right? True or false? Right? You did that, right? I did that. Sometimes I remember when my daughter was little, she would take a toy, she would like, and she would drop it. She would now start sketching things on the air. What does she do? Learning and knowledge acquisition. But I want you to show me that diagram so I can tidy up and end the one.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Forever. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you all.